Hey guys, so I'm back. I just finished the first episode of Strike the Blood. So what did I think about this series? I think it's good. It's good of course, few things that are a little bit concerning is the amount of fan service in this is a bit surprising for what I thought it might be. Thank God it's not romance, okay? I was about to just spit out blood myself if this was going to turn out to be a high school romance. I was just like, no, women have like taken over the genre, and now I'm gonna experience like every single vampire is no longer gonna be a fighting series. It's gonna be just some sort of romance about people sucking each other's blood. I was like, nah, don't do this to me. But thank God it wasn't. It's actually pretty close to what I thought it would be. Not quite there yet, because at this point, it's a very lighthearted series. A very lighthearted series about a guy who finds out he is, or he already knows that he is, the progenitor. The fourth progenitor, a higher class of vampires that by themselves are as strong as an entire nation's military troop. So he has, of course, ultra reflexes and supposedly other vampiric powers, as we have seen in this episode. And also, apparently, vampires can also summon familiars and all that good stuff too. So, what we've got so far is like a DBZ, Dragon Ball Z hybrid of vampire class in this series. The only difference is all these creatures, it's not just vampires, we also have, mermaids, looks like from the scene, fairies, all sorts of mythical creatures just stuck in an island that's meant to contain them and study them. And he's also stuck on this island too, meant to be studied and contained, and he's actually being watched by a girl named Yukina. And Yukina is a little bit of a typical tsundere, nothing too out of the ordinary, and a little bit too trusting for my taste. I mean, the minute he told his story about how he didn't know how he became a vampire and all that stuff, she was like, I trust you, and I'm going to help you, find your past and become better and protect you. And I felt that was a little bit too quick, a little bit too fast, but I mean, hey, it's anime, maybe they had to skip over some development, for budget cuts or something like that. But, I mean, just that whole interaction itself seemed a little bit forced. But hey, last scene of this whole episode was just so fucking crazy. Like, he was trying to remember how he became this, type of this higher class vampire, and we see him at this town, and we see the town right now currently is underwater. But back in the day when it was like on fire and shit, and everyone was like getting killed and dead, he was there talking to the last, the original fourth progenitor. And the original fourth progenitor was a little girl with white hair, and he had like a freaking crossbow and shot her through the heart. It looked like with the crossbow bolt. And she was like, now that I fulfilled your wish, you must fulfill my wish. And as far as I can tell, I guess he wished that maybe he was bullied back in this town, and he wished that everyone would just die. And so she heard this, and they became friends, and she killed everybody. And then, he realized that, oh no, you can't, kill them. That's not what he wanted. And so he had to shoot her. And I think that might be what happened. It looked like that was what happened. But that was, it looked like the scene itself that this happened at was a long time ago. He has a crossbow. And the buildings itself are not modern buildings. They're made out of stones and, wood. So the weird thing is we have to ask is, he says that he has been a fourth progenitor, he has been a vampire for only 4 months, okay? 4 months. That's as much as he can remember. He says, I've only been a vampire for 4 months. I was originally a high school student. But if we look at the actual scene at the end, which it doesn't, I don't know if that's like a memory or if it's just like a flashback of just the past itself, but it looks a lot more older, way more older. Especially when you see the bodies, they have armor, plate armor, and that has not been used in forever, Currently it's in the modern world, but that time, it looked like the time frame was a couple 500, 1500 medieval ages. So, wow, there's a discrepancy between the main character's memory and basically what apparently happened. This could be really interesting, guys. Just exploring the past for this character and then building it up. Who are the other progenitors? Where are the other vampires? What's going to happen? Is this organization called the Lion King organization going to come in and, try to stop him at one of these times? Because they're basically trying to protect this whole world, and they try to monitor people. I just don't understand why they're called the Lion King organization. I think there must have been... I feel like just their name sounds a little too corny for my likes. But, I mean, I'll just give it that. I won't pay too much attention. I'll just assume they have some freaking badass name like the Helsing organization. I'll just fucking switch that around. And I'll be like, okay, won't mind it too much anymore. Fan service, though. Fan service. A little bit of fan service. Oh, quite a lot of fan service, actually. I don't know what was going on. I think, someone had a little too much fun with the animation. Usually they only show you, a flash of the panties. If they ever show it, maybe a little bit of the skirt, not too much. But this one, it was, full-blown panties. It was boo! And it was oh! I see your panties! And then they did it again. And it's, not even once. It's here's the second time. Boo! And it's, a full, almost 10 seconds of just, that's just, I just couldn't believe how long we were. That's the only thing. Episode 1. Great. Awesome. Backstory. Amazing. Environment and setting. Generic. Very generic. I must warn you. High school setting. Modern setting. Not too interesting. Background. History. Character. Amazing. Also the fighting amazing. Because it really looked like in this first episode they did a good job with the animation. Especially when Akatsuki Kyoji, when he was about to stop Yukina from beating that one crazy ass guy who was hitting on her. Boom! He was out there and he was ready to punch. He was ready to punch him, and it was just the animation was very slick. Very slick. So hey, looking forward to more of the fights. Strike the Blood. Episode 2. Hopefully we're going to see more of the past. Maybe it'll be a little bit of, filling out the bases, letting us know a little bit more of where all these organizations and other vampires sit. But honestly right now, the backstory, freaking incredible. Freaking incredible. Makes the entire series worth to watch just to know what the hell happened in that, history. Last 5 minutes. Best 5 minutes I've ever seen in an anime. Alright. Episode 2.